All right, what is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? Welcome back here today to another episode of the Just Ballin' Podcast. And in today's episode is going to be a fun one that we're going to do today. We are going to trade every single first round pick in this upcoming 2024 NBA draft. So I saw Sam Vecenie did this, and it was a great watch and listen on his podcast. He's the main athletic draft guy, so I highly recommend watching his episode with his co-host. They did it, and that definitely inspired me, or it inspired me to make this today. So I'm very excited to be doing this for you guys on YouTube. You can watch me do this. If you guys are listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, you know I appreciate you guys a ton. And yeah, we're going to basically trade every single first round pick at least once in this video. Now, if you guys watched or listened to yesterday's podcast, you saw I left out the intro, which is always embarrassing, or I left in a part I was supposed to cut out. And I cut it out when I'm editing it, and then pretty much when I'm editing once or twice, my Vegas editing software, I use Sony Vegas to edit, crashes on me. And it didn't save that portion of me cutting it out. So I didn't realize that when I kind of watched it back. And it was just a blunder. It's embarrassing. It's humbling, but I hope you maybe got a kick out of it. So first of all, congrats to the Boston Celtics on winning the NBA Finals. It wasn't the most competitive finals in the world. I was a little shocked that Jaylen Brown got Finals MVP over Jason Tatum, but it is pretty cool for his resume to have that when he's making his Hall of Fame case one day. And yeah, it was pretty cool to see nonetheless. And this Celtics team was by far and away the best team throughout the regular season, 64-18 record, and then the best team in the playoffs. They went 16-3 throughout the playoffs. What a season they just had, going pretty much 80 in 17 or 80, in 21. It's an incredible record what they just pulled off. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting video today in podcast format, because we are going to, like I said, trade every single pick. So the Hawks in mind, what if, I don't know how low Ingram's value is on the open market. I'm sure it's a decent amount, but what if Atlanta's not they're able to keep number one, keep DeJounte Murray, and trade for Brandon Ingram? What if they offered Onyeka Okongwu, Bogdan Bogdanovic, AJ Griffin, or Kobe Buffkin, and they were somehow able to land Ingram? That'd be pretty sick. And you're going into a lineup next year of Trey, Murray, Ingram, Jalen Johnson, and Alex Sarr. Now, for a couple of reasons, that may not work out, but that would be kind of cool nonetheless. So with the number one pick, I'm actually going to do something that's been kind of rumored as of late. It's the San Antonio Spurs trading up. And what San Antonio can offer Atlanta that would be very enticing for them would pretty much be them getting one of their first round picks back. So it's going to be number one for number four. Fanspo pretty much only allows you to do basically this year's draft picks you can trade. I actually will have the trade machine up as well for when we need that, just to make sure stuff works financially. But yeah, basically we're going to be doing number four and then maybe the 2025 Atlanta first round pick, at least one of those picks back from the DeJounte Murray trade to move up 3 spots, which I think is actually great for Atlanta, because you could still end up, I think, with a Reed Shepherd or Donovan Clingan at number 4, and you can get and recoup one of your first round picks back. So we trade number 4, we trade number 1 in this, and I think they would be trading up to number 1 to take Zachary Reese-Shea. They're getting a floor spacing wing that should be a consistent shooter right away, and you're really going on the potential for him number 1 overall. It would be pretty cool to see Reed Shepherd end up in San Antonio, and I'd rather, if I was San Antonio, to just stay at 4 and do that. But for this exercise, we're going to have San Antonio move up to number 1. I don't know if Detroit would want to unload assets for number 1. I don't think there's a player specifically they would want or desperately need. Same with Charlotte. I don't think Houston would trade up to number 1. Maybe Washington, if there was a lot of teams calling and they're we definitely want Alex Sarr or Reese-Shea, maybe, but I doubt that happens. I think San Antonio is the only likely team to trade up with Atlanta for number 1, because I don't see them going past probably Portland at 7, unless Portland really wanted to move up to take Alex Sarr, which would be pretty sick. So, Reese-Shea goes 1, which means Washington would have plenty of callers for the second overall pick, and we're actually going to do that. I think this could be a Memphis spot, or this could be a Portland spot, and Portland has a plethora of draft picks to get this done. So we're actually going to send, it's not going to be 7 and 14. It might have to be. I mean, they have future picks as well. You know what? What if Portland is we don't need to take 2 rookies. We drafted 2 rookies last year in Chris Murray, or in the first round, of Chris Murray and Scoot Henderson, and they got Ryan Repair in the second. Dwap Reith was a pretty good undrafted rookie as well. They have Toumani Camara, second round guy that they got in the Aiden trade. There's Delano Banton into the mix, all the veterans of Brogdon and Aiden and Grant and Thibault and Time Lord, and then the young guys of Simon, Sharp, and Scoot. What if they're like, we don't really need 2 rookies specifically. Let's offer 7 and 14 to go up to number 2. Why not? Like, would Washington want to do that? I'm not sure. I mean, Washington would be in position to take Alex Sarr, but for today's exercise, we are trading every pick, so they will not be going for Alex Sarr here unless they're trading up. And we are going to have, see, now why is it Washington? I think I did this wrong. Yeah, I actually forgot to send. See, it's like Fanspo, you got to make sure that you send. So Washington is at, okay, now I got to find Portland. Okay, well, this is annoying. So, yeah, this is just for the first round. So we'll just do that, and we are good to go. Okay, so Portland's on the clock. They move up to take Alex Sarr at number 2. They could move up to take Donovan Clingan as well. But, yeah, I'm going to get Alex Sarr with the 2nd overall pick in Portland. Someone that could play the 4, could play the 5, could be your successor to a Jeremy Grant or a DeAndre Ayton. Definitely gives you upside in both spots there, but I also think gives you a little bit more flexibility. You can now develop Sarr with his franchise point guard in Scoot Henderson, and I am really excited about a Scoot Henderson, Alex Sarr pick and roll combo or just duo tandem for the next 5 to 10 plus years. That is actually something to get really excited about in Portland. I think they would actually work out really well together. And I think if there's an offer, 7 and 14 may be a lot. Like it may be 7. It could be a future Boston first. It could be a future Milwaukee first for sure that they got in the Dame trade. It could be a sign-in trade or maybe a 3-team trade. Maybe Washington gets another pick. Maybe Jeremy Grant or Malcolm Brogdon are rerouted for sure. But for now, this is basically just going to be 7 and 14. And we're going to move some players as well in this video and podcast as well. So yeah, we had some interesting starts here. We got Spurs getting resession number 1, Portland going up to number 2. I think this would be Brooklyn on the line with Houston at 3, but we're going to do, I think, something a little bit different. I don't know how many spots Donovan Clingan is worth. Like, could Chicago, or like, is Alex Caruso worth 8 spots, right? Like, could Chicago offer 11 and Alex Caruso for 3? And Houston gets another stud defender back there with Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, and now you're actually looking at a legitimate team that can guard some of the high-powered offenses in the Western Conference. You can have Caruso and Amen Thompson go out and guard a Kyrie and a Luka, or they can go out and guard an Anthony Edwards or a Shea out there, and you can actually have 2 different mismatches if someone's in foul trouble, if it's just not working out for that guy that night, and Houston is trying to make the playoffs. They went 41 and 41. This team could easily be better than a Sacramento or a New Orleans, or honestly, if they play good enough and some of their guys develop, like they could be up there with the Clippers next year if they fall off a little bit. They could be better than Golden State. They could, I don't know if they can be better than the Lakers, but I'm not saying it's impossible. So we are going to do, Houston's going to move down 8 spots because I think whoever they take at 3, if it's Reed, if it's Donovan Clingan, they're not going to get to play a ton because Cam Whitmore needs to get minutes, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, Şengün, and all the guys I mentioned, Dylan Brooks as well. So this could also be a Mikal Bridges idea, but for now, we're going to do basically 11 and Alex Caruso for number 3, which means Chicago goes out and trades up for Donovan Clingan, who could be in contention to go number 1 overall in this draft, and I'm all for this trade. I think they blew out their window on getting a great return for Alex Caruso. So I think being able to land Donovan Clingan, who now, like, you have a success plan to Nikola Vucevic, or now you could trade Nikola Vucevic, or, which I'm actually not opposed of, moving Vucevic to the power forward spot and getting more physical, rim protecting, stronger, quicker, big, I don't know why I said stronger twice, at the 5 spot, who's actually going to try his ass off defensively. That's what I would like to see, and Donovan Clingan can provide you that, and you can now move Vucevic to the 4, and hopefully he can now focus a little bit more on the offensive end and can be a consistent 3-point shooter. And Vucevic's value, like $20 million a year for a floor spacing power forward instead of a rim protecting big and post style of play, could actually completely do a 180 on his value throughout the league. So that's why I like that for a couple reasons for Chicago. And they go up and get Donovan Clingan, and Houston gets Alex Caruso and still a pick in the lottery. So number 4, Atlanta. We don't have to move this pick since we already traded it. So yeah, we are going to keep it here. And the way that this draft has fallen, it's kind of interesting. Like, would they go Reed Sheppard? I think so. I think I'm going to have them go Reed Sheppard at 4. Would it make a lot of sense when they already have DeJounte Murray and Trae Young on their roster? No. But there's been a lot of rumors and reports that at least one of those guys is going to get moved this offseason. Now, if I'm in Atlanta, I don't really feel the pressure to do so. If I could just kind of make a lateral move because I don't want to enter in a rebuild, because I don't own my draft picks. Unless I'm trading Trae Young to San Antonio, what's the point of entering into a rebuild? And I don't really want to move Trae Young. He's been your best player in quite some time. I would try to do a lateral move. Could you move DeJounte Murray for a Tyler Hero? Could you move a DeJounte Murray for a Brandon Ingram? Something like that, where you're not getting worse. You're not really entering into a rebuild, and you're getting a solid player instead of some picks that you could have maybe gotten for, I don't know, it could have been for from the Lakers or somebody like that if it was at the deadline. Or I think New Orleans was interested in Murray at the deadline. So could Capella and Murray for Ingram make sense? I mean, New Orleans needs a big for sure. And yeah, I like Reed Shepherd here because then he could replace Murray or something like that. But you're getting one of the best floor spacers in this league, one of the better shooters in the draft. This dude is going to hit wide open threes, contested threes, pull up, off the dribble, DHOs. He's going to do it all, and Reed Shepherd's going to go number 4. Could end up as the best player in this draft. And at number 5, Detroit. I think the way that this draft has fallen, I mean, the Caruso thing could be interesting for them as well, but I like Dalton Connect. I think we can move down a little bit to take Dalton Connect. I don't know what team would necessarily try to trade up. It could be somebody like Utah that likes Buzelis' upside. Could it be San Antonio trying to move from 8? Could it be Washington trying to get back up there as well? Which, you know what? I think we could find a solid swap here between Washington moving, this 26. Maybe. It could be a future pick. I'm not going to include 26 in here because we're going to give Washington 3 rookies. So we're going to basically do, I don't know, Washington, do they have any future picks? They do not. So we'll do 26 and 7 to move up to 5, and Detroit's going to go down from 5 to 7. Washington's going to move 7, which we did with the Portland trade, and 26 to move up to 5. They're going to be doing that to select Stephon Castle, who could be this team's franchise point guard. Now, I don't think Jordan Poole is going to be, I think he's going to be better next year. He's not going to be as bad as he was in the 24 season, and Jordan Poole could run this offense. I still believe that he could. Will it do it at a high level? No, but I think he can actually do it efficiently. But Castle provides you a lot of upside here. He could be an elite defender right away on the perimeter, and that's what Washington needs. And he wants to go to a team where he can be a franchise point guard. Boom, there you go. So now we have number 6 with Charlotte. Is there anybody on the board that would get traded up for specifically? Maybe Cody Williams? Devin Carter at 6, is that kind of high? I think I'm still in play for Dalton Connect to go 7 in this mock. So who is trying to trade up, or what is Charlotte trying to do? Are they trying to accumulate some more draft capital? They could. I think maybe, does Houston want to try to get back up here? Does Utah? I mean, Rob Dillingham in mocks is falling, which is kind of crazy. So I think we want to maybe be a team that wants to maybe jump San Antonio for Devin Carter. And I think that could be the OKC Thunder. That could be the Houston Rockets, but they already added Alex Caruso, so that's a little redundant. So or does OKC try to trade up 6 spots for Cody Williams? Get the brother of Jalen Williams. I mean, that's interesting as well. Now I'm kind of at a crossroads on what I want to do with Charlotte here at number 6. I mean, they could be a Kyle Kuzma team, but I don't think Washington is in a spot to move up from 14. He's obviously going to be on the block. Could Charlotte be a Josh Giddey team? You know what? It's 12 and Josh Giddey for 6. I don't hate it. I don't. I think Josh Giddey's going to get moved this offseason, and Giddey could play alongside LaMelo Ball. It could be a new environment for him for sure, but does OKC do that for Cody Williams, right? I don't think so. Or Matas Buzelis. I mean, they could. I'm just trying to think who moves up. Washington's at 14. Sacramento's at 13. Would it be a team that wants to go out and get Rob Dillingham? Could it be the Miami Heat? I don't know if they have the assets to do so. Could Memphis try to move up specifically to get Buzelis on their team if they don't think he's going to fall to 9? So we could do that. We could do 6 to 9 for 9, or 6 goes to Memphis, 9, 39, and it'd probably be like a couple other seconds going forward. Like we can even send 58 and another one going over. So Charlotte accumulates a high second rounder at 39 and some other picks. There could be like maybe Luke Kennard's in the steal or something like that, right? Just getting another shooter next to LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, or somebody that could be on the market in Memphis. So this is really just the reality of Memphis moving up to number 6 to draft Matas Buzelis, a high upside play for them, and they'd probably be thrilled to get him at number 6. I don't think they think he's going to make it to number 9 on draft night, and he's someone that hopefully at his peak for you could be another floor spacing power forward, and what you already have in Jaren Jackson Jr., but now you're getting someone that could still be a solid rebounder, but then could also be able to create his own shot in the half court. We did have Detroit trade down at number 5 to number 7 because they're going to get Dalton Knecht. They want to try to be better next year, right? They want to get somebody that could take the load off of Cade Cunningham, who's been asked to do so much on this team in year number 3. We expect them to try to sign a Tobias Harris or somebody like that in free agency, but let's also get Dalton Knecht, one of the more older but NBA-ready prospects in this draft, who's going to slow the game down and is going to be able to knock down some shots. So San Antonio is here at number 8. The draft board as follows is Dillingham, Topic, Salon, Holland. We have Cody Williams, Devin Carter, Khalil Ware, Zach Edey, all on the board at 8. I mean, I think San Antonio would probably be thrilled in this position, but we are going to have them trade down, and I think they're going to trade down with OKC, who doesn't want to risk losing out on Devin Carter. So OKC is going to send 12, and I'm sure a future first-round pick. That could be from Philly, that could be from Miami, or anything like that. And we are going to move up 4 spots. It may even be maybe that lottery pick from the Heat. It doesn't have to be great value since for Charlotte, they just got 3 seconds to move down 3 spots. So I don't really know what it's going to be in this draft, which is kind of crazy. Like, when the Mavericks moved up 2 spots to get Luka Doncic, they gave up a future first-round pick that was, top 5 protected, top 3 protected, that ended up being Cam Reddish in a loaded 2018 draft. That was looked at as a high draft, like a good draft class at that time. This year, not a great draft class. So maybe OKC just has to give up 4 seconds or 3 seconds to move up 4 spots. And they're going to be doing that. I mean, Ron Holland is on the board, but we're going to get Devin Carter in OKC. I do plan on moving maybe Josh Giddey here. Like, maybe we're going to send a pick to OKC and we're going to get Josh Giddey in a new situation. I think I could definitely do that for sure. So let's get Devin Carter here at 8. Someone that could kind of replicate what Cason Wallace did for you last year, but also get 2 of those. I mean, you're not going to be able to extend Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe and Wallace eventually and J-Dub and Chet. Like, obviously, J-Dub, Chet, Dort, Shea, those are the more important guys. But now you can have Devin Carter on a 4-year rookie deal who can also contribute for you in the playoffs next year. So Charlotte traded down to 9. There's some really good options for them. I'm going to have them go Ron Holland here at 9. They want to get a new identity here. They want to get more athletic. They're obviously getting younger with this pick. So we're getting Ron Holland, in my opinion, the most athletic player in this draft, at least at the wing position. Can be a good defender right away and could just run and gun with Brandon Miller out there and LaMelo Ball, which would be very exciting. So you're accumulating more assets in Charlotte and you're trading down and, in my opinion, getting the second best guy in this draft. So I'm not going to recap every trade, but for the first 9, we basically moved up from 4 to 1. We ended up giving Atlanta one of their first-round picks back with the Spurs so they could take Reese Shea. We had Portland trade 7 and 14. That might be kind of crazy to move up to number 2 to take Alex Sarr. We did 11 and Alex Caruso for Chicago to move up to number 3 with Houston to select Donovan Clingan. Atlanta traded down with San Antonio, so they got Reed Sheppard at 4. We had Washington trade 7 and 26 to move up to get Stephon Castle. And then we also had, and they still have pick 14. We had Memphis trade a couple seconds to move up 3 spots to get Matas Buzelis. We had Detroit trade down with Washington so they can get Dalton Knecht. OKC trades up to get Devin Carter. And then Charlotte, who traded down with Memphis at number 9, gets Ron Holland. So I hope I'm explaining this well. If you guys are listening, obviously if you guys are watching on YouTube, it's a little bit easier to follow, but if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, hope it's doing all right. So Utah at number 10. Does Josh Giddey go for the 10th overall pick in this draft? Maybe, if you don't really have that much faith in Rob Dillingham or Nikola Topic. Who is Utah trading with here? Is it San Antonio? You know what? I kind of want to do that. So we're going to have San Antonio move back up here. We're going to do, I think, 12 and 48. And Utah's going to move down 2 spots, so they're still going to get a solid play here. And they get a middle of the second round pick here. And they're going to go up to number 10 to select Rob Dillingham out of Kentucky. I think it could be Topic here for sure, but Topic, there's some scary things with that ACL injury going on. And Rob Dillingham is someone that is going to be an elite shooter with Wemby having all that gravity. And you're surrounding Wemby with some really good shooters in this draft in Rob Dillingham and in Zachary Reese Shea. In a perfect world for me, they get Stephon Castle and Reed Sheppard in this draft. That's not going to happen with all these trades, so they're getting Rob Dillingham at number 10. At 11, we don't have to trade this pick. This is Houston trading down from 3, and honestly, there's some good value here for sure. I don't think I'm going to take somebody that's going to win right now. Like, this is a deep roster of young players, and we just added Alex Caruso. So I'm going to actually have Nikola Topic go here at 11. I know it's an interesting fit in Houston, but I do think he's going to be a good enough shooter eventually, and he could eventually be groomed under Fred VanVleet and mentored as the next point guard for this team. What is Amen Thompson's role? I think Amen Thompson could be elite in the half court. There's questions with the jumper. Is Amen Thompson going to be more of a wing? Definitely defensively, I think, than a one. And I think having Amen Thompson shouldn't stop you from drafting Nikola Topic. It's a good problem to have. And in my opinion, you're going best player available. So number 12 here, Utah traded down a couple spots, and they're still going to, I think, go what they've been doing before. I'm going to have them go Cody Williams here. There could also be a Tidjane Salaün play. But yeah, we're going to have them draft number 12 or draft Cody Williams with the 12th overall pick. Or, you know what I could do? I could trade 12 for Giddey. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do that, actually. So, yeah, we're going to get Cody Williams in Utah, get that length. I think he's going to be a good defender right away. He needs to get a better feel for the game, but Utah, kind of like Houston on a little bit lesser of a scale, has a lot of young talent to play next year. You want to give more minutes to Hendricks, Sensabaugh, and obviously Keontae George. What are they doing with Markkanen and Sexton this offseason? And Jordan Clarkson. We expect Kessler to bounce back as well. And Utah has another first-round pick later in this draft. So I think they're going to be a team that could go still potential. At 13, Sacramento, we are obviously going to be trading this pick. I don't know if there's a player specifically, but you know what I don't hate? I have an idea. I don't know if they're going to have cap space to absorb this. It may have to include... Does it have to include Harrison Barnes? See, that's where I got to bring out the trade machine. I want to see if we can maybe do Bruce Brown to Sacramento to help offload the loss of Malik Monk, because they're most likely going to move or lose Malik Monk this offseason. He's going to get a nice payday from another team. So does Sacramento have the cap space to trade down 6 spots with Toronto, but then get Bruce Brown, who could help replace Malik Monk? The Kings do not have cap space, that looks like, to get Bruce Brown. So, I don't know. Vezenkov wanted to trade. You're not moving Herter. Is it going to be Harrison Barnes? I mean, can Vezenkov get this done? Let me see about that. Does Vezenkov help this out? It does. Okay. So I'm going to trust the trade machine here, that the financials are right. So we're basically going to do 13, and Sasha Vezenkov, who seemed like he wanted out and could definitely get more playing time for sure in Toronto, and Toronto could use some spacing from that power forward position. So we're going to do 13 and Vezenkov for 19 and Bruce Brown, which I actually love that fit for Bruce Brown in Sacramento. And you got Bruce Brown, Keon Ellis. We'll see what happens with Davion Mitchell. Some good defensive guards there. So now Toronto's trading up at number 13. I think they're going to go up to get a high upside guy, and that's going to be Tidjane Salaün. I think you're adding some really positive forwards to this team, and you can still have Emmanuel Quickley and Scotty Barnes run this half-court offense, and then you have Salaün that could be, I think, a nice complementary off-ball player right away, but still have super high potential. I think fits that ideal player that can dribble, pass, shoot, and defend eventually that Masai Ujiri loves, and he found that in a couple guys on that 2019 championship team in OG Anunoby and Pascal Siakam outside the lottery. And then I think this makes sense for the Vezenkov and Bruce Brown part of it. So they get Tidjane Salaün there. Now we're at 14 with Washington. They got Stephon Castle at 5, which I kind of love this for them. Like, they accumulated 14. They get Castle at 5, which I like more than them getting Reese Shea at 2. And we could move this pick straight up for Josh Giddey, but this team desperately needs a big man. So I'm going to actually have them go Kel'el Ware here at number 14 to end out this lottery pick. High upside. There's obviously the motor questions because I think when it's down for him, the awareness shuts down, and he's kind of unplayable. But when he's on and he's focused and locked in, this dude could be a game changer. And Washington, with like their bigs being Tristan Vukcevic and Rashawn Holmes and Marvin Bagley, it's not great. So let's get Kel'el Ware into the mix, and that wraps out the lottery. So yeah, the new trades we did basically was the Jazz trading down 2 spots, and San Antonio going up to 10. We had Houston at 11 take Topic. Spurs at 10 take Rob Dillingham. 12, Cody Williams to the Jazz. They traded down 4. The Raptors move up to 13. They get Tidjane Salaün. And the Wizards at 14 select Kel'el Ware. So, Miami, we're going to be trading down. I don't know. Does Miami try to get into the Brandon Ingram sweepstakes? Like, would they move Tower Hero and 15 for Brandon Ingram? I honestly don't think New Orleans would be opposed to that, but I think New Orleans is still looking for their point guard specifically. So, that is kind of hard to map out what they would want to do there. So let's see who would maybe want to move up with the Miami Heat at 15. I think the Pelicans for sure. So maybe we do, that is interesting. Do the Magic try to move up 3 spots to lock in a Jared McCain or Isaiah Collier? Do the Pelicans try to move up to 15? You know what? I think we're going to do that. I think we're going to have the Pelicans move up from 15 to 21. I don't know if they would have to include, I doubt, Dyson Daniels. Maybe it's a future first. maybe I doubt it's the Lakers first. So I'm trying to think what the filler would be in this deal. Would it be, because like the Heat would be moving down 6 spots. Do the Pelicans have a not great first? I don't think they would do Dyson Daniels. They're not doing Jordan Hawkins. Like EJ Liddell's interesting. I mean, I believe Najee Marshall's a free agent. I mean, Jose Alvarado, but I don't know if, New Orleans maybe would do that. Maybe. And Jose Alvarado could seem like a Heat culture guy. So like say we did, that'd be amazing for Miami. Like 6 spots. I don't know if the Pelicans would want to do that. And maybe the Pelicans pick up 43 as well. So maybe something like that. All right. So yeah, we're going to send Alvarado to the Miami Heat and 21. And and 21 to the Heat. And the Pelicans get, they would get 15 and 43 as well. So we're going to do that. So the Pelicans here at 15, they're moving up to get Isaiah Collier, in my opinion, pretty much a top 15 guy in this class, and they are going to get, hopefully, their franchise point guard and someone that can facilitate the ball, something they haven't had in quite some time since basically Drew Holiday, because CJ McCollum, that experiment at the point guard position has not worked out. So I could see the Sixers obviously making a pick here, like the way that this draft is falling, like Jared McCain on the board, some really good talent, but I think we're going to have them make a trade with the Orlando Magic. The Magic are going to send 18 and 47 for 16. Sixers pick up another second. They have nobody on this roster, so they kind of need to hammer in these second round picks. And the Magic are going up to get Jared McCain. I think this is a pretty obvious trade up for them if McCain falls outside the lottery because of his knockdown shooting ability, and the Orlando Magic need a shooter. The Lakers are another team that could look for some assets as well. Do we want to make a big trade? We could. We definitely could. I just don't know who they would be in the market for to move 17 and Hashimura. Like, the Lakers are going to make a big move this offseason, right? Like, if they run this team back, this team is a first-round exit for sure. But you don't want to do anything too crazy to really mortgage the post-LeBron future of this team. Do they go after DeJounte Murray? Do they do a Rui Hashimura and 17 for DeJounte Murray? Would the Hawks want to do that? We added Reed Shepherd in this draft. Do we get another first rounder? I don't really know if I love that for Atlanta. I don't think that's really great value in return. Does Golden State try to make a move? They could definitely make a move for like Brandon Ingram, I think. But I think for the Lakers trading down, let's get some good rotational pieces, and this team needs to get younger. I could see the Knicks moving 24 and 25 with the Lakers to move up for 17. And we're going to do that. So the Knicks are going to trade 24 and 25 with the Lakers for 17. They move up basically 7 spots from 24. And I think they would go, like Jacoby Walters, some really good value for them right now. I think the way like that this draft is falling, I'd like if they just kind of stayed there at 24 and 25. But we're going to go probably the best value guy here and the highest upside in Jacoby Walter. I don't think that the Knicks rookies are specifically going to play a lot of minutes, depending if they bring back Hartenstein and if they bring back OG Anunoby. So I think they would just be moving up for best player available, and that is the premise of that deal. I don't know if that's Jacoby Walter. That seems like maybe not the biggest Tibbs guy, but I don't know if you're trading all that for like Tristan Da Silva or like Deron Holmes or somebody like that. So the Sixers, we traded down. Let's get Tristan Da Silva there. They moved down 2 spots. They add a second and they get Da Silva. Sacramento at 19. Do they want to double trade down? We got Bruce Brown. I think they could stay in the first round for sure. Would they want to move down? Detroit? Does Detroit want to move up? I don't know about that. Detroit picked up 26, which I kind of liked for them. Milwaukee's got 33 as well via Portland. I don't know if they should give that up. Honestly, I think they should keep that. I don't know if the Suns, okay. I think we're going to actually just make this pick at 19 with Sacramento, and they're a team that needs some big man help. Do we just get Zach Edey in Sacktown? I kind of want to do that, but they could obviously go for a wing as well. But I'm actually going to go with a different big. I don't know why he's ranked so low, but we're going to go Deron Holmes here, who's been promised, I think, a pick in the top 20. Sacramento, I think, pulls off a great draft night trade, getting Bruce Brown, moving down 6 spots, also giving up Sasha Vezenkov as well, and you're adding Deron Holmes, who could plug and play for you right away. No more of like the Alex Lenz of the world or these backup big men that haven't been great for you. And I think an upgrade over Trey Lyles long term as well. And you're adding Bruce Brown to help offset the loss of most likely Malik Monk this offseason. So Cleveland at 20, they could make a big move. Do we just do a Brandon Ingram for Jared Allen trade? Do we do a Darius Garland for Brandon Ingram trade? Honestly, let's do something crazy right now. So the Pelicans already made a pick. We're going to send this pick off to the Pelicans if I can. The Pelicans do have a second rounder. So the Pelicans are going to be getting this pick, but in what sense are the Cavs getting the better end of this deal? Or I guess, yeah, or getting the... okay, so could we do like 20 and Jared Allen for Brandon Ingram? Does that make the Cavs better? I mean, that may make Donovan Mitchell happy. That may enrage some Cavs fans or Pelicans fans here. But I'm sure the Pelicans are thrilled to go out and get Jared Allen. But does Jared Allen have more value on the market than Brandon Ingram? He may, because he's got the extra year under his contract. So maybe it's not going to involve the Pelicans. What team is going out and getting Darius Garland? Is it the LA Lakers? Do we do 24, 25? Do we get Garland to the Lakers? Let's get Garland to the Lakers. Why not? They're going to make a big move. And Austin Reeves, I have no idea. Is this even going to work out financially? This may not even work out financially. Hold on. Bear with me. So we're going to do Austin Reeves, 24, 25 for Darius Garland, who actually fits this timeline post LeBron. No, we would actually have to throw in another player as well, which maybe Gabe Vincent, which honestly could be appealing. No, we got to take out. We got to cut $12 million. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't think the Cavs would want D'Angelo Russell, so maybe we do Jared Vanderbilt in this deal. That's a lot. All right, can we throw a player back from Cleveland? Because this is really going to deplete the bench. Like, can we throw Sam Merrill back, maybe? And Dean Wade, does that work out financially? It does not. Could I take out Dean Wade and it's just Garland and Merrill going to the Lakers? It does not. All right, so we're going to deplete the Lakers bench. We're going to do Gabe Vincent, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, 24 and 25 that we traded down with the Knicks for Darius Garland. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. Garland to LA, and then we got, Vandy. We got, Austin Reeves and Gabe Vincent. Wow, so Vincent, 24 and 25 to Cleveland. I wanted to make some blockbusters in this, and I know this is kind of crazy of a deal. I do expect some crazy things to happen this offseason, so we're going to do that. And the Cavs, the Cavs have 20, so I guess I'm not trading this pick yet. I don't think we're giving the Lakers 20 in this deal, or do we? Do we give the Lakers 20 in this deal? Or, I don't know. Did I already give it to? Who did I give 20 to? I don't know why I can't see it there. All right, so let's do that. The Pelicans are on the clock. Okay, why are the Pelicans getting this pick? This is the Fanspo issue here. So let's just send. This could be a 3-team trade. Could be a 3-team trade. All right, so let's send. Oh, man, I don't know. Do we send Ingram? Do we just send Ingram for Allen at this point? And you're getting all these rotational guys around Ingram, Donovan Mitchell, and Evan Mobley. I mean, let's do it. Let's get kind of crazy. I don't know. Pelicans fans, Lakers fans, and Cavs fans may erupt at this pod specifically, but let's just get weird at this point. So let's just give this pick. This pick would go to the Pelicans. So we're basically going to do Jared Allen and 20 for Brandon Ingram, which is kind of crazy. You can maybe get the Lakers, and we'll actually give them the Lakers 25 first as well. So the Cavs are getting the Lakers 25 first in this deal as well. Hopefully you're able to follow along there. So that means the Pelicans got involved in this Lakers-Cavs 3-team trade. They sent Brandon Ingram and the Lakers 25 first to the Cavs, and they got Jared Allen and pick 20. And we took Isaiah Collier at 15. Let's go Bub Carrington. Let's get another good guard in that backcourt for sure. I don't know if Zach Edey's a good fit next to Zion Williamson, but we're going to have Trey Murphy and Herb Jones on the wings, and we did add Jared Allen in a trade as well. So on the clock here, 21 with Miami, who traded down with the Pelicans before. We are going to add, who are we going to add to this team? I think Tyler Smith could be nice. I think Kevin McCullough, Terrence Shannon Jr. I think Jalen Tyson, who can get a bucket for this team. I'm actually going to have them go Tyler Smith. They did a great job, in my opinion, developing Nikola Jovic. I think they could do the same in Tyler Smith, who could be a stretch 4 for you, but can also rim protect. We got the Suns here at 22. We are going to trade down to try to accumulate some more draft picks as well. We're going to do a trade down with Minnesota, 27 and 37 for 22. Phoenix needs to add some depth pieces, so they are going to make that trade. Minnesota is going to trade up to 22 to select. I think they need some more shooting. So let's get Johnny Furphy at 22 for sure to come off this bench. Milwaukee at 23. They could accumulate some more draft picks as well. Do we want to maybe do this trade with Toronto? They just have 31. I'm trying to think. Does Utah move up from 29? Yeah. So let's do 29 and 32 for 23. Milwaukee's now going to have 29, 32, and 33. That's really good. Utah moves up here to 23. But, we're not done yet. We're going to reroute 23 and maybe a future Timberwolves pick. Let's do that. To OKC. And we're going to send Josh Giddey. To the Utah Jazz. So basically, Utah sends 23 and a future Cavs or Wolves pick to OKC for Josh Giddey. I had to move Josh Giddey on draft night, right? So we're doing that. And then that means OKC got back on the clock. Do we give them Zach Edey? Do we give them some rebounding big man help? No, we're going to go more athleticism with this play, and we're going to go Yves Missi here at 23. The Cavs, who were in this 3-team trade with the Pelicans and the Lakers, now they have Reeves, Vincent, Vanderbilt. A lot of depth on this team. They've also added Brandon Ingram, and they, I believe, and they're also getting the Lakers 25 first in that deal as well. So let's get some more big man help. I mean, they moved Jared Allen. Let's get Zach Edey there. I don't want him to start next to Mobley. I want Ingram at the 4 or Vanderbilt at the 4 or somebody like that. And I want Evan Mobley at the 5, but Edey could be an upgrade over Tristan Thompson for sure off that bench. And then the Cavs are picking back-to-back. So we're going to go some 3D upside. No, we moved Garland, so Reeves is on the move, or Reeves is here as the starting point guard, or it could be Donovan Mitchell, but let's get a good backup point guard in Tyler. No, I'm not going to go Kolek because they do also have Craig Porter Jr., who I'm a big fan of. So I'm actually going to go, who do I like here? Dembona. We can go for a little bit of scoring upside, but let's go 3D upside in Keyshawn George, who doesn't need to play right away. Detroit on the clock at 26 when they traded down with Washington back in the beginning of this. We are going to have them go, I think we're going to have them go a little bit of a floor spacing big man in Kyle Filipowski. I like that for them at 26. Minnesota traded up with Phoenix. Phoenix on the clock here at 27. Let's get Tyler Kolek. Oh my God, if they got a high second and Tyler Kolek at 27, I would give them actually an A+ in that draft because I'm a big fan of Kolek going to the Phoenix Suns. Denver at 28. I mean, they may lose KCP this offseason, but we're going to have them trade down a little bit. I don't know who's got some seconds right now. We could have Indiana, 36 and 50 to move up. I don't know if they would do that. Let's do Minnesota. Yeah, we'll have Portland get back into the first round. Portland's going to send 34 and 40 to the Nuggets for 28. Nuggets get 2 second rounders here, and they save a little bit of money with that deal as well. We drafted Alex Sarr at number 2. Let's get some shooting. Yeah, let's get some shooting in Portland, and let's go Baylor Shireman, who I do think could go in the first round. Minnesota traded down before with Utah to accumulate some nice seconds, and they're going to get a shot creator. So I think you can go with any of the 3 of Kevin McCullough Jr., Terrence Shannon Jr., or Jalen Tyson. I'm a fan of, and I like Jalen Tyson's physicality going to Milwaukee. And at number 30, I don't know if there's a big man still on the board for Boston. Well, I guess we actually have to trade this pick for Boston. So who should trade up for some defense? Dude, the Knicks have a nice second rounder. They have 38. So we're going to send maybe 38 and I don't know if there's a player. Maybe Jericho Sims and maybe 2 seconds for 30. I don't know. And then the Knicks are going to move up to 30 to get they could go Bobby Clipman. They could go McCullough. But we're going to have Ryan Dunn go at 30. So that wraps that out. My head is kind of spinning a little bit. It is very tough to do. That's why, like, when I was listening to Sam Vecini do this, I'm like, I got to give this a shot. We traded every single first-round pick here in the 2024 NBA draft. I think my head really started to spin when we did that 3-team trade with the Lakers. Who already traded down with the Knicks. And then we got the Cavs in there. We got the Pelicans. Garland is now a Laker. Jared Allen is now a New Orleans Pelican. Brandon Ingram is a Cav, and the Cavs got some first as well in that deal. And the Pelicans even got Bub Carrington in that deal as well. So I hope you guys did enjoy that podcast. If you did on YouTube, I'd appreciate it if you dropped a thumbs up. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, a rating and review would be greatly appreciated. And if you're watching on YouTube, go check out the pod. In the description, you guys are going to get episodes over there that you are not going to get on the YouTube channel. So you got to be following over there. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.